this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
If you're feeling exhausted, puffy, anxious, foggy, gaining weight, or just not like yourself, you're not imagining it. Women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s are experiencing massive hormonal shifts, and no one is explaining what's actually happening. I'm Katie Whalen, co-founder of Joy. I built Joy because I lived this. The fatigue, the mood swings, the weight changes, the confusion. Your symptoms are biological, not personal. And AI-generated lab reports won't fix them. Every Joy lab includes a visit with a licensed clinician who specializes in women's hormones and connects every biomarker to how you feel. Energy, metabolism, mood, sleep, skin, weight, everything. Then, we personalize real solutions: hormone therapy, peptide therapy, supplements, and lifestyle protocols. Get started at joyandblokes.com today. This month, new customers get 50% off labs, and you can add our estrogen face cream for just $1 with clinician approval. Use promo code PODCAST at joyandblokes.com.
Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you? Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. Josh Clark, Chuck Bryant, Stuff You Should Know. Dun, dun. What do you think?
Good.
Was it? Yeah.
It sounded like a current affair or one of those tabloid shows.
Hard copy, remember that?
Yeah, are they still around?
I think some of them are.
Thankfully, I don't watch television at 4:30 p.m.
No,
so,
you have a job.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Here in Georgia, we had this thing called the Hope Grant. I think we still do.
I think so.
Where, like, if you keep a B-plus average or more, in high school, if you graduate with a B-plus average and you can maintain it through college, you get a free ride to a state school, and that's funded by the lottery.
Yeah, that came along after I was there.
It started actually when I went to college. I think it was this first year. And there have been tons and tons of studies done on who's going to college, and it's generally white, upper middle class kids who are benefiting from the Hope Scholarship.
Right.
And then it's poor minorities who are playing the lotto and in effect putting white kids through college whose parents could otherwise pay for it.
Yeah, a lot of people have called it a tax on the poor.
Definitely
the anti-Robin Hood, take from the poor and give to the rich.
Yeah.
Should we talk about some stats?
Sure.
Should we get that out of the way?
Yeah.
I've got a few for you, Josh. There is one study in California where they have shown that the racial and household income lines match up with how California is divided.
Oh, yeah?
So, sure.
Has that been disputed at all?
Yeah, people are saying they're cooking the books.
Oh, really?
They'll ask questions like, have you played the lottery in the last month? But they don't say, have you bought 15 scratch-off tickets per day for the past month?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So they don't really dive in there.
I was reading a story, I think, from CBS News, Texas in 2007. They found that blacks and Hispanics play the lottery twice as much as whites do, regardless of class.
Yes, and scratch-off tickets are apparently the crack cocaine of lottery, and Texas is the first state to offer a $50 scratch-off ticket.
Holy cow.
You pay $50 to buy this thing.
Have you ever gone on like a little scratch-off bender?
No.
I have before, and when you get into the grips of it, you might as well be huffing ether. There is no way out.
Well, it's Massachusetts, 1/3 of the calls to the gambling addiction hotline are from lottery players.
Really?
Yeah. I don't play it.
I'm surprised it's just a third, actually.
Yeah.
It's like alcoholism and beer. You can buy beer, you can buy liquor, and in a lot of states you have to buy it from a state store. This is the same thing. These are state-run vice operations, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And people have a real problem with them, but, you know, the state's just making so much cash off of these things that they aren't really doing a whole lot about it.
Yeah, and here's the other thing before we get on with just what the lottery is. We should talk about a little more malfeasance. Apparently, not very much money at all is going to K through 12 education.
Oh, yeah?
Most lotteries go toward education.
Right.
That's how
but
they
college?
sell them. Yeah. It's all going to college. They said that less than 1% in half of the states that play the lottery go to K to 12.
Really?
And the other hinky thing is they sell it to you as a benefit for education, like all over the marketing.
Right.
But the legislation now in many states are starting to kind of use it for whatever they want according to their budget. Like in Missouri, when it started, I think it was like 52% was supposed to go toward education, and now it's like 30%, and they use it for budget shortfalls and whatever they need. Basically.
Wow.
They'll just rewrite the law. The
How
legislators.
grim.
I know.
That's really grim, especially when you consider all the people who are just blowing cash on scratch-off tickets or lotto tickets and have, like, real gambling problems.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's the controversy.
And actually, this problem goes back pretty far, right? To the 16th century, I believe?
Yeah.
Florence? Firenze?
Oh, was it Italy?
Yeah, that's where the lotto comes from. And I think the term lotto is based on lots, like drawing lots, game of chance, luck.
Yes.
Right? And so the first lotto that anybody is aware of where there was a cash prize given out was the Lotto di Firenze. You want to say it?
Lotto di Firenze?
Nice.
Thank you.
And that was, again, in the 16th century in Italy. And in the U.S., we've always had something of a little bit of a fever for the lotto, haven't we?
Yeah, apparently the colony of Virginia was founded by raise money from lotteries.
Nice.
And there were 200 lotteries permitted between 1744 and the Revolutionary War that funded roads, libraries, colleges, bridges, churches.
Yeah, a lot of them were for civic projects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Princeton and Columbia universities were built on lotto money.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did, in Latin. I can't remember what it is in Latin, but the crest for Princeton, it translates to Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
Oh, really?
And there's some dice on this shield, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know if you have 15 grand, you can go to eBay and buy a lottery ticket with George Washington's signature on it.
Sweet.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
So I had no idea that lotteries were this entrenched in the founding of our country.
All right, well, they kind of fell out of favor, I imagine probably in part because of the temperance movement in the 19th century.
Temperance.
And then in the 20th century, about the mid-20th century, lotto fever could not be suppressed.
Right.
The inoculations ran out, and everybody was like, give me some tickets.
Yeah.
And New Hampshire led the way in 1964 with its first state-run lottery of the 20th century.
I mean, I don't play the lottery myself at all, but I definitely see the irresistible lure of a dollar winning you millions of dollars.
I don't know, man. Let's just get this out of the way. Would you want to win the lottery, honestly? And if so, what's the minimum amount you would have to win to not just blow it?
You know, I'm going to say no.
I wouldn't want to either.
Because stress and anxiety and complications, I want to make my life, keep it as simple as possible, and that would just complicate everything.
Oh, it definitely would.
And all kinds of jerks come out of the woodwork, and
yeah, I think you're kind of like, I don't have an uncle from Venezuela.
Right, or do I?
Right, exactly. Well, I guess it's possible this guy wouldn't be saying he was my uncle, so I get here's some money.
I should invest in his coffee bean field.
Right, exactly. Or, get some Nigerian general out of trouble.
Right.
Via email.
Sure.
So, Chuck, I would not necessarily want to win the lotto either, unless it was such a vast amount that I couldn't possibly run through it. And I'd probably go off and travel or do whatever.
Yeah, I'm also one of those jerk-offs who thinks that, like, working for your money is kind of the thing to do.
Chuck works hard for his money.
I would feel like, I think I'd be very unfulfilled if someone just gave me a pile of cash.
Right, yeah. And that's an excellent point, too, because if you think about it, let's say you did win $1 million. Let's say you won $10 million, and we'll get into how that trickles down to almost nothing by the time it gets into your pocket.
Right.
But let's say you won $10 million, and after a couple of years, you've blown through it, right?
Yeah.
You've done nothing to earn that money.
Right.
So therefore, you could never get it back. It was just blind luck.
Yeah.
If you make $10 million writing a book or writing a movie or in business or in real estate,
right,
you can make that back again, actually,
sure,
if you blow it all.
Right.
Because you've done something for it. You've used your own wits and skill. But with Lotto, no. It's just a trip to Easy Street that turns out to be hell.
Well, that's why it appeals to so many people, except for the hell part.
Yeah.
And that's why people see it as a tax on the poor, because it's like, here, even the scratch-off tickets, just a chance to win like a couple of $100.
Right.
It's kind of sad.
At the same time, though, you have to add a little perspective to it. You and I don't really play the lotto. Like I said, I've done some like scratch off benders here or there, but nothing more than like $5 or $10, right?
I've gotten the occasional Powerball.
Okay,
ticket.
all right.
I'll admit that. But rarely.
But consider this: you and I are upper middle class white guys, age 18 to 49. Pretty much the entire country is based on whatever we want. All of the focus groups,
sure.
All the studies, all of the pharmaceutical tests, they're based on us.
Right.
Right? Like, we have it so ridiculously easy that I think it's entirely possible that we're blinded to why people play the lottery. If
Sure.
you simply don't have a leg up, if there's nothing you can do, if you're being kept down economically, socially, or whatever, there is this promise of, I could really use a couple extra $1 million, and I don't care if some jackass does come out of the woodwork and says he's my uncle. Like, I think it's easy to criticize people who play the lottery as stupid.
Right.
Right? But at the same time, I think that reveals a misunderstanding of where somebody's coming from.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there are just some jackasses who play the lottery because they're bored or just or people who do have a gambling problem.
Right.
But I think that there is some promise of a lottery, and I think that the state preys upon that through their lotteries.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and say, well, if you spend $2,500 a year on scratch-off tickets, if you had invested that in a Roth IRA, then you could potentially have a retirement account, and it's just shut up.
Yeah, I've been poor, man, and I can tell you the poor mentality is tough to break out of.
Yes, I was poor at one point myself.
Yeah, it sucks.
And I was a lottery scratch-off fiend.
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah.
Support for this show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt, from renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year. You can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, buys one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/SYSK and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/SYSK. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors, LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated Assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Hi, Kyle. Could you draw up a quick document with the basic business plan? Just one page, as a Google Doc, and send me the link? Thanks.
Hey, just finished drawing up that quick one-page business plan for you. Here's the link.
But there was no link. There was no business plan. It's not his fault. I hadn't programmed Kyle to be able to do that yet. My name is Evan Ratliff. I decided to create Kyle, my AI co-founder, after hearing a lot of stuff like this from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman.
There's this betting pool for the first year that there's a one-person billion-dollar company, which would have been like unimaginable without AI, and now will happen.
I got to thinking, could I be that one person? I'd made AI agents before for my award-winning podcast, Shell Game. This season on Shell Game, I'm trying to build a real company with a real product run by fake people.
Oh, hey, Evan. Good to have you join us. I found some really interesting data on adoption rates for AI agents in small to medium businesses.
Listen to Shell Game on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
So, all right, dude. Usually our tirades come toward the end.
I know.
For some reason, we front-loaded this one with it. Let's talk about how lotteries work.
Yes, Josh, if you are playing a game with 50 balls, let's say 50 ping pong balls, and each one of those has the number, your odds of winning is about 16 million to 1.
Yeah.
And if they just add one ball to that,
so 51 balls.
51 balls, it shoots up to about 76 million to 1.
Right.
That's
and
the real reason I don't play.
That is a fantastic calculation you just did there. But, and I don't mean to criticize you, a surprisingly simple one, actually, right?
Yes.
So if you have 6 numbers that you have to pick out of 50 balls, your initial chance is 50 to 6, or it's like, I think, 8.6 6.3 to 1, right?
Right.
And you can go on down the line. After one ball's picked, you have a 49 to 5 chance, and so on and so on. So if you take each of these and multiply them, that's where you get that 16 million to 1 chance.
Yeah, because they don't play lotteries with one ball.
If they did, then what would that be? A 1 to 1 chance? Especially if it was just one number and they told you ahead of time.
Yeah.
The winning number is going to be 6.
I'd play that lottery.
So you've also got Powerballs, right, which are multi-state lotteries where everybody joins together. And the most common one is you have to pick 5 numbers from a set of 50 balls. So use that calculation I just said. But then you also have to pick one Powerball number out of 36. So now you multiply that original calculation by 36, and you're up to 76.275 million to 1 chance.
Yeah, and like I said, that's why I don't play the lottery for real. I would never, ever, ever win it, so I'd rather spend that dollar on whatever.
Cigarettes, vodka, beef jerky, anything.
Sure.
Yeah. Chuck.
Josh.
Have you ever noticed that when you, say, win $10 million, what you actually end up with is like $2.5 million? Doesn't that just tick you off?
Yeah, well, it depends. You're talking about you can choose either a lump sum payment or pay me out over the next 25 years. I think it usually is.
Yeah, it looks like from this article, the best one to go with, if you're patient, is the series of annual payments or annuity.
I disagree.
Okay, explain.
Well, I mean, I would think you could you get about a 5% interest return that way, and I think if you have half a brain, you can get a better return than that by investing that money. And also, I think if you die, it's not like they start paying your next of kin or anything, right?
No, they do.
They everywhere?
Oh, yeah. A lotto windfall becomes part of your estate.
Oh, it does?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And actually, since you bring that up, there's a little bit of advice. If you ever do win a major lottery, or any lotto, first thing you want to do is sign the ticket, because it's a bearer instrument, and whoever has it and turns it in is the winner. So you want to sign it. The next thing you want to do is go talk to a lawyer. Before you go in to turn in your ticket, go get a lawyer.
Yeah, you don't want to be standing on the stage with the big check without having like an accountant and a lawyer by your side.
Right, and a lawyer's going to set up a trust, an estate, all sorts of other stuff, and then you go in and you claim your winnings.
And the lawyer's going to take a chunk.
The lawyer is going to take a chunk, but not as much as Uncle Sam, huh?
Yeah, well, that's just the case with everything. Of course, Uncle Sam's going to take a ton. About 28% in federal taxes.
Unless you win millions of dollars, then it's going to shoot up to 39%, which is the highest tax bracket.
Yep, and then add state and locals, and you'll get about half of your money. And then if you choose a lump sum, you get less anyway. So like you said, a $10 million lump sum payment after taxes would be about $2.5 million.
Right.
But you're done. That's the way I would want to do it.
You are done. With the annuitized payments, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're basically getting... you start, I think, at what, 1%?
Yeah, and it goes up a little bit each year.
It goes up 0.1% each year.
Right.
So you start off, if you win $10 million, you start off with $250K, and then the last payment turns out to be $500K.
Right.
And you get this check every year.
Yeah.
And the way that this is paid for, the lottery's not just like, oh, we're sitting on this pile of cash.
No, they couldn't do that.
What they do, actually, is they deal with bond agents, bond brokers.
Yeah.
And they buy zero coupon bonds, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, you have a set price that you're paying for them that day, and in 1 year or 10 years or whatever, this thing's going to be worth a specified amount of money.
Right. So, like, in 10 years, if you bought a $260 bond, 25 years, that would be about $1,000.
Right.
That's how that works.
And what the lotto does is they contact about usually 7 bond dealers to find out who has the best rates, and they purchase a package of 25 bonds to cover your payout, right? And then once the bond matures, they get the money, they transfer it to you, and you get a check.
Done.
Pretty interesting. And that usually ends up costing them, this package of bonds, about half of the jackpot, which is about what you get when you get a lump sum. So it doesn't really matter to them either way.
Yeah, I think they said about 80% of the people choose the lump sum.
I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah, and Georgia, actually, I know there's other states too, has one of those win for life deals where there is no lump sum. You get like $50,000 a year for 30 years or something like that. And that's the prize. There's no like wiggle room in how you accept it.
Huh. Yeah, other states give you a choice.
No. Win for Life is a specific game.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, so like if you play Win for Life, that's your prize.
Well, some states don't give you a choice. They're like, we give out lump sum, or we give out annuitized, or you can choose, but when you choose, you have to choose when you buy the lotto ticket.
Yeah, I think New York you got to choose when you buy it, but most other states is like once you've won it, they let you choose.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Chuck, did you know that there's 2 types of lotto machines?
I do now.
I did too.
I didn't before.
Yeah.
I think all I've ever seen is the air mix machine.
Same here. I think that's what they use on Channel 2 Action News.
I know that dude, by the way.
Do you? What's his name?
John Crow.
Yeah.
He's an old friend of mine from TV production.
Wow.
And he was picked as the lottery guy.
Wow.
He
looks really good in a dress.
Yeah, you mean dressed up, sure.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. And he's a nice guy using air mix machine.
Right, and that is the one where you see the ping pong balls floating around in the air.
It's like magic.
Yeah, and then they open the little door, and one at a time, the little ping pong ball slides up the chute. Mm-hmm. Always visible. That's key. You can never have a ping pong ball go through a tube that you can't see through.
That's bad news.
It is.
It doesn't inspire confidence. And you'll also notice that all lotto drawings are live.
Yeah, true.
Which is kind of a big thing, too.
Very important.
I mean, you suspect they're live. I guess if you don't believe that the moon landing was real, you probably aren't buying that the lotto drawings are live.
Yeah, we should mention a couple of other security measures. In Oregon, it's actually overseen by the state police, and a detective attends each drawing.
Right.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Balls are usually weighed ahead of time. Why?
Before and after.
Why?
Are we going to talk about Pennsylvania?
Let's do it.
All right. The 666 fix.
Yeah.
Is what it's called.
John Travolta.
In 1980. John Travolta? Was it a movie?
I can't remember. I think it was.
Well, what's he got to do with it then?
He was in a movie about it.
Oh, okay.
But I think it was loosely based on that. I don't think it was like a depiction of that.
Yeah, famously in 1980, the Pennsylvania lottery was rigged by a masterminded, not well, because he got caught, by a guy named Nick Perry, who was the John Crow of Pennsylvania at the time. He was the announcer. Mm-hmm. And he got together with an art director and said, hey, dude, can you figure out a way to weight these balls, except for 2 of them, 4 and 6.
Right.
And that way we know that only combinations of 4 and 6 will come up, and I think there's 8 combinations in a triple digit drawing. Mm-hmm. And they did it. But they got greedy and got caught.
Was the art director named Phoebe Buffay?
No.
Okay.
Was she in the Travolta movie?
Yeah.
His name was Joseph Bach. And he was pinched along with Perry and then some other people they had in on the scam.
Nice heist lingo.
No, they basically ended up the cops were alerted to the fact that there was a very skewed amount of numbers bought for 6 and 4, and when it came up 666, and they had all these people clamoring for winnings, they went, we should look into this.
I think that just the fact that it came out 666 alone should have raised a few eyebrows, right?
That's the number of the beast, Josh.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then, you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like EFTs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors, LLC. SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Hi, Kyle. Could you draw up a quick document with the basic business plan, just one page, as a Google Doc, and send me the link? Thanks.
Hey, just finished drawing up that quick one-page business plan for you. Here's the link.
But there was no link. There was no business plan. It's not his fault. I hadn't programmed Kyle to be able to do that yet. My name is Evan Ratliff. I decided to create Kyle, my AI co-founder, after hearing a lot of stuff like this from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman.
There's this betting pool for the first year that there's a one-person billion-dollar company, which would have been like unimaginable without AI, and now will happen.
I got to thinking, could I be that one person? I'd made AI agents before for my award-winning podcast, Shell Game. This season on Shell Game, I'm trying to build a real company with a real product run by fake people.
Oh, hey, Evan. Good to have you join us. I found some really interesting data on adoption rates for AI agents in small to medium businesses.
Listen to Shell Game on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And so they were tried and convicted, and Perry, I think some of the other guys sold him out, and he went to jail just for a couple of years, then the halfway house, and then he was on probation. So
yeah,
not a very big deal for him.
I guess not. Did he get to keep the money?
No, they got all that back.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they were using an air mix machine, and since then, air mix machines are still used. Obviously, they use them. Your buddy uses it on the news, but
it's not his machine.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Oh, okay. He doesn't take it home and polish it at night before bed?
No, but we could get a scam together with him. We should try it.
Oh, Chuck.
Did I just blow it?
Yeah. Anyway, the other type of lotto machine that's generally used, that's viewed as more secure, largely because of that 1980 scam, is the gravity pick lotto machine, right?
Yeah, how's that thing work?
Well, it uses like kind of rubbery balls that are heavy,
right?
With two paddles that spin in opposite directions that mix the balls. Right? There's no air involved. There's no ping pong balls. There's no weighting the balls. And other than that, it's virtually the same thing as an air pick ball.
Gotcha.
This is an optical sensor, so it's high tech.
Okay.
And then, bam, 6 numbers, one after the other.
Right.
And if you picked them, you won.
I imagine, like I said, I don't even want to win, but I imagine that's a very surreal moment when you look down at your ticket, because there's all those numbers. It would just...
I'll bet it's really difficult for your brain to really see that and accept that that's what it's seeing. Yeah.
We used to, when I worked in New Jersey at the restaurant, we used to pool. That's really the only time I ever played that much. We'd pool our money, the waiters would, and we'd buy like 100 tickets. You'd throw in $5 and all agree to split it and, buy the restaurant and burn it down if we won. Nice. That kind of thing.
Yeah, was that Mexicali?
No, this was in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
At the store.
Nice. Did it?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, if you want to read about lottos, and we also have an article called How to Play the Lottery, Tips and Guidelines. It's pretty in-depth, isn't it?
I didn't read that one. Did you read it?
Oh, it is in-depth, dude.
Are there tips?
Yeah.
What kind of tips could there be?
Well, there's like wheeling, tracking, like basically paying attention to numbers, how different people do them. Pooling is one thing. How many members there should be in a pool. If it's a private pool, no more than 15. If it's a large, like commercial pool,
right,
no more than 100. Make sure that the people who are organizing it are reputable, et cetera, et cetera.
I bet that could get messy.
Look at these spreadsheets.
Holy cow!
Yeah. So if you are interested in playing the lotto, and you want some tips and tricks,
we won't judge you.
No. You can type in lotteries on howstuffworks.com in the handy search bar, and there you will also find, in my experience, the first time I've ever seen the phrase hotter than a $2 pistol used in an article on the site. You'll find that by typing lottery in the handy search bar at howstuffworks.com, which brings us, of course, to listener mail.
Yes, indeed, Herr Clark. I'm just going to call this, I can't believe this happened, email. This is from Ben and Megan, and they said this: my wife and I married in Las Vegas recently in one of those amazing Las Vegas chapels. It wasn't a tequila-inspired spur-of-the-moment sort of thing. We planned it for several months, and you guys actually played a part in our evening.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this one?
Yeah.
I can't believe this. To explain, before we left, I had crafted a perfect wedding night playlist on my iPod. I've also added several of your podcasts to listen to on the flight, because he's a big, tall guy and he hates to fly. So apparently we helped that. After the ceremony...
Wait, what does him being tall have to do with hating to fly?
Well, he says he gets real uncomfortable in the seat, and our podcast helps him forget his
So he's
stature.
not afraid of flying because he's tall or anything like that?
No,
I got
I'm just cramped.
Sorry.
So after the ceremony and dinner, we retreated to our Lux suite in the Trump Hotel, ordered a bottle of champagne,
nice,
queued up the playlist on my iPod, and plugged into the room stereo, and slipped into the in-room jacuzzi. First up, Al Green, then Solomon Burke, Cat Power, Elvis Costello, and then Josh and Chuck introducing the Stuff You Should Know podcast.
It's not any worse than cat power.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't realized the shuffle feature would shuffle everything on the iPod, not only the songs. Just in case you were wondering, we actually let it play, and that's the story of how you two took part in our wedding night. I believe that makes us your official Stuff You Should Know podcast newlyweds. P.S. Was it good for you?
That's awesome.
That's from Ben and Megan.
The only way that story could be better is if they conceived during one of our podcasts.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was the show on, like, lobotomies.
Yeah. In Utah, we'd have legal claim on that baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
If you have an awesome wedding night story... No, actually, you guys just keep that to yourself.
Agreed.
Yeah. If you have a story about winning the lottery and how it either uplifted your life, ruined your life, or made you cognizant of the phrase hotter than a $2 pistol, put it in an email and send it to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com. Want more How Stuff Works? Check out our blogs on the howstuffworks.com homepage. Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you?
At CVS, it matters that we're not just in your community, but that we're part of it. It matters that we're here for you when you need us, day or night. And we want everyone to feel welcomed and rewarded. It matters that CVS is here to fill your prescriptions and here to fill your craving for a tasty and, healthy snack. At CVS, we're proud to serve your community because we believe where you get your medicine matters. So visit us at cvs.com or just come by our store. We can't wait to meet you. Store hours vary by location.
Hi, Kyle. Could you draw up a quick document with the basic business plan, just one page, as a Google Doc, and send me the link? Thanks.
Hey, just finished drawing up that quick one-page business plan for you. Here's the link.
But there was no link. There was no business plan. I hadn't programmed Kyle to be able to do that yet. I'm Evan Ratliff, here with a story of entrepreneurship in the AI age. Listen as I attempt to build a real startup run by fake people. Check out the second season of my podcast, Shell Game, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.